Hello. Today this is the third. Today this is the third video, update video on my game engine. I know it's been a really long time, but I've been really busy, and for part of the time I just lost inspiration. But anyway, I'm back. So it's over the course of this like 3 months. I put in like 3 new features. So the first one, which didn't take me that long, only took me a few hours to implement, is annotations. So basically, for now, just testing. I just have in my main. So the reason why I put this in because I was putting in too much stuff that shouldn't be in here for inside the main game loop. Because this is something that's not going. You're not going to be able to edit when you are. You're not going to be able to edit when you're writing a game with my engine. And I was putting all this non-engine related stuff inside here. So I added an annotation manager. So even though it's kind of temporary for now, the way I put in. Let me just explain first. Anyway, so where is it? Okay, so from the annotation manager class, I can call this method and I can put in a class so that so this is the class right here, and so now I can use all these cool annotations, which are all of these. You can just do @ and then whatever name this is right here, and then it'll be called at that stage inside of the runtime of the program in the engine. So. And that allows me, so I can just have this test class, which is all this stuff is non-engine related. So I can just do all my tests in this class. Okay, so and so just to give you an example, so this is this is after the engine initializes. This method gets run right here, and this adds entities, and I'll get to the control manager after this, and initialize all the terrains and. This is all that, and then so all this stuff right here, it gets compiled, and as you can see, it's written in this test class at the main game loop, and yeah, so and it's all here. Okay, so and then I'll get to that later too. Okay, so and then so now I added a control manager, so an entity can implement controllable. So I have this interface right here named controllable. All those things, and anyway, it's still not finished yet, but it's just kind of basic, so I can easily get the camera to move around in a better way rather than just sloppily putting it in, hard coded it in. So camera, as you can see, implements controllable, and there's a control manager class, and so this is just so all these things are static right here. So every time in the main game loop, when it calls update control, there's one controllable thing, which is obviously going to change in the future. This is a simple implementation, and on this thing, it'll call each of its specified methods, and obviously in the camera class, it so for like, let me just search the left first. Search the left, and you'll see it, and then it decreases the position.x by 0.5f, and obviously I'll make this a lot more complicated and not complicated, better to use in the future. Okay, so that's the control manager, and that's what I spent the most time, even though it shouldn't have. But anyway, I made the axis aligned bounding box. Oh, also I cleaned up a lot of the messy code, and I still am. Mainly with the entity class and the moving entity class, and I moved things around. Anyway, before I did this, remember last update I had axis aligned collision detection. Well, what would this, if I was using the old system, would return no. It would say there's no possibility that these are colliding at all, because it didn't use rotations, and I did it a horrible way. I didn't use the transformation matrix, but now it does. So now I can take into account for rotations. So right now I have this truck right here, which is positioned, I'm not sure if you can see my mouse right now, which is positioned right here and rotated to a 45-degree angle on the z-axis. So since the bounding box, I'm not sure if you can see my position right now, my mouse position right now. Let me just make sure you can. Okay, apparently you can see my position. Okay, so the bounding box would, so the bounding box, it should do this. So here's what it should be like. It should be a bounding box around all the edges of it. Before it would just go like this because it would think, it wouldn't realize that it's rotated. So just to prove that this works, so right now it says yes, it is colliding. So this is just if the possible collisions of array list in the physics manager, if it's more than one, because so I showed you last time there's a possible collisions array list that gets modified every update, every physics update, and this is returning yes because these are colliding. Okay, so now if I go and I make this rotation right here, not 45 degrees, if I just make a 0-degree angle, make it completely upright. Then you'll see that these shouldn't be colliding because the A, B should not be anywhere near this this truck's X line bounding box. So as you can see, it was returning no. So that's all I have to show you for right now. Sorry it wasn't really that much. But hopefully I can get into doing this more, especially since spring break is pretty soon. Anyway, bye.